Hello, both. It's been a while. Do you have any issues to report? Someone's planning to kidnap Sachin. Goodness. Though I suppose it's not all that surprising. The growing popularity of the extravaganza has given him quite the reputation boost as its sponsor. He's seen as one of these super rich types.
Well, since he's got a target on his back now, shouldn't you send some people to protect him?
To tell you the truth, we've thought about doing just that. However, Sachin apparently prefers to spend most of his time out doing field work, and hardly ever comes back to Sumeru City. No one has been able to contact him. Our only lead is something he once said. Each time the Inter-Darshan Championship is held, I will be watching from close by to choose a suitable person to inherit my estate. Assuming he remains committed to that promise, then he must be right here in the city somewhere. I suspect that the Eremites in question must have heard about that as well, and decided to come here and try their luck.
So, they shouldn't know where Sachin is either, right?
I would assume not. Anyway, Mahamatra Saino is still on vacation, so I'll handle this. Don't you worry. A couple of kidnappers aren't gonna get very far in Sumeru City these days. I have my ways of forcing them out into the open. All of that said, if you're interested in Sachin's story, why don't you try tracking him down as well? The sooner we ascertain his whereabouts, the quicker we can act to ensure his safety. I mean, you could task all the Matra and the whole Corps of 30 with someone's protection, but if the client doesn't show themselves, there's nothing we can do to help them.
Fair point. Guess we should start searching for him too, but where should we start?
None, I'm afraid. He's never committed any crimes or broken academic protocol, so we don't have a very detailed file on him. I've heard that Alhaitham has now stepped down from his post as acting Grand Sage and is back to being the scribe again. Maybe it's worth checking to see if he knows anything.
Good idea! Okay, we'll head back to the extravaganza venue and see if we can find him. Hey, Nilu, have you seen Alhaitham anywhere?
Alhaitham? Why, what is it?
We're trying to track down someone and we need him to pull up some records for us.
Oh, I see. Sorry, I don't know where he went. He's always the first to leave after the competition ends, and he never tells anyone where he'll be going.
Huh. Yeah, actually, that sounds about right for him.
Let me think. To be honest, he doesn't seem very interested in the extravaganza, so he probably doesn't stick around longer than he has to. To him, being a commentator is just extra work he was roped into. Do you guys know of any places he'd go after work?
Ooh, maybe. Paimon remembers that his house isn't that far from here, so we might as well check it out. No answer? Maybe no one's home. Hello? Alhaitham? Are you in? We need your help with something.
Oh, it's you two?
Oh, Kaveh, you're home!
Come on in, I'll get the door for you.
We didn't hear a peep when we first knocked. We thought no one was home.
Well, I can't be too careful. If someone from the academia came here looking for Alhaitham, and I opened the door for them without thinking, before long the whole city would know that I'm living here.
You're pretty conscientious about this, huh? So, what happens if someone comes inside looking for him while you're at home?
It's fine, as long as I stay in my own room. Anyway, why would someone just barge in here looking for him? Most people have better things to do.
Fair enough. So do you know where he is at the moment?
What do you think? Who knows what he does in his free time? All that matters to me is that he's out of the house. I wouldn't call it that. He's just incapable of saying anything pleasant at all. I told him how the second round went. I won the lot draw, remember? Because of good karma, of course. My luck's on the rise. But him, being him... Oh, you wouldn't believe what he said after I was done talking! You're always quick to remind me that you're my upperclassman, and yet you do not problem solve in the manner becoming of an upperclassman. This begs the question of why we attach prestige to seniority at all. What does he mean, manner becoming of an upperclassman? What, am I supposed to earn the title of upperclassman now? And he didn't stop there. He said, I'd encourage you to reflect on why you've ended up having to rely on luck every round. Frankly, it's incomprehensible to me how you've managed to make it to this age without acknowledging the proverbial elephant in the room of your life.
Yeah, that does sound like something Alhaitham would say.
I've had it with him. Every time I talk to him, it's the same way. He finds a way to infuriate me every single time. Anyway, the disdain is very much mutual between us, so I'll be moving out as soon as possible. I'm actually packing my things right now. He'll have to get used to doing his own cleaning and tidying from now on. See those perfectly hung paintings on the walls? They're coming with me too. If his life wasn't utterly devoid of artistic sensibility already, it certainly will be after today.
Wait, you're moving out already? But the competition isn't even over yet. How can you afford it?
Well, obviously I can't just yet. I'm just packing early to get ahead of the game. I've got my new place picked out already. The moment I have my hands on the prize money, I'm going to buy it and move my things right in. It'll take me 3 days tops to move out of here for good. I now know what I have to do to achieve this goal. No matter what happens in the third round, I will win. I will emerge triumphant. You'll see.
Well, we'll be rooting for you. But are you sure you'll be all right?
In what way?
Layla said that she thinks you'll get caught up in internal conflict.
Meaning what exactly? Oh, don't tell me you think I have serious personality flaws too.
Oh, we didn't say that. But think about it. You say you want to win, but you also turned Farozan down when she offered to give you her points. Plus, you took it upon yourself to help those desert foxes.
Wait, what's so unusual about all that? I gave you my reasons. I would have felt guilty otherwise. Where's the conflict in that? Well, when you put it like that, yes, why indeed? It's a good question. I guess it's just in my nature. Plus, if I just did nothing, then there'd be no escaping the blame if something bad came of it later down the line.
But thinking like that all the time must make your life so exhausting. Not to mention that by helping out, you put yourself at risk. Fainting in the middle of the desert, for example. Was that really worth it?
It's complicated. Look, let's maybe leave this conversation for another time. What was it you needed Alhaitham's help with, anyway? Sachin? Huh. He did actually mention a Sachin recently. I remember he brought a few documents home that day. He was thinking out loud as he looked through them, making some notes and doodling as he went. He even suggested that I should take a look, but I didn't. Give me a moment. Let me go find them. Ah, this is the one. Here, take it.
You sure he'd be okay with this?
With taking liberties? He's certainly okay with helping himself to my beer whenever he pleases. And anyway, he did ask me if I wanted to read his notes. I didn't see the point at the time, so he just left them on the side. He doesn't leave documents lying around unless he's okay with other people reading them. It's fine, I promise.
Cool, if you say so. Okay, let's see what he's got on Sachin. A lot of information. Paimon's getting a headache. So, to sum up, Sachin put the academia in charge of managing his estate and went off to do research, right? He even said that if he really liked one of the contestants, he wouldn't just give them a reward, but his entire estate as well. Oh, that must be worth heaps and heaps of Mora.
What? Are you serious? All of Sachin's wealth, that's more than I could spend in a lifetime, surely. Heck, if I got chosen, I'd be able to pay off all my debts, then buy a new place, and still have cash to burn. I could build another Palace of Alcazar's Array, except this time, I'd make it 10 times bigger. Oh, then there's that new project in Port Ormos, of course. The bridge renovation. To do it properly would take upwards of...
Hey, snap out of it! You're getting way ahead of yourself there, mister.
You're right. First, I need to focus on winning and moving out of this place.
Huh? Wait a moment. There's a loose slip of paper tucked in between these pages. Did Alhaitham write this? It looks like he was jotting ideas down as he was thinking things over. Let's see. Two phrases have been circled. Sachin, dead or alive, unknown, and diadem of knowledge. Some of this stuff is just plain incomprehensible. Is this written in some other language?
Let me see. Huh. I recognize this script. Give me a second. Lofty ideals may provide no defense at all against nihilism, but perhaps little decisions can. That's a rough translation anyway. I can't guarantee it's 100% accurate. There's another smaller line of text underneath. Why would he bring that up?
Wow, it's so cool that you can actually read this script!
We worked together on a project once when we were students. The title was Decoding the Runes and Architectural Philosophy of the Ruins of King Deshret's Civilization. I had to familiarize myself a little with this script at the time.
Oh, interesting. So, any idea what Alhaitham meant by all this?
Who knows? The way his mind works is one of the great mysteries of the world.
Fair enough. Well, guess we've learned all we can here. Yeah, he better catch those crooks. But until then, let's just head out for a stroll.
You're here. Sorry, I was just about to send someone to inform you. I only just finished interrogating the suspects.
What did you find out?
Well, lots of unexpected details, let's put it that way. The mercs themselves were surprisingly easy to catch. We just had someone dress up as Sachin and they took the bait. But then it starts to get messy. During the interrogation, we learned that they were hired by Sachin's own child.
What? Why would someone want to kidnap their own father? What's up with that?
It's anybody's guess at this point. In any event, apparently the guys we caught are just the tip of the iceberg. Most of them are still snooping around outside the city. We're diverting manpower as we speak to try and round them all up. Would you like to come along?
Sure, let's go get to the bottom of all this.
Looks like they're already knocked out. What the hell?
Are you sure this is the right place? Something feels off.
Boss, we got more company.
Look, we were just doing what we were paid to do. You're punishing the wrong people here. You want the real culprit? It's this guy. He hired us to kidnap Sachin.
What happened? Who beat you all up?
Wait, you mean you aren't with them?
With who? Who did this?
First there was this flying brat. Didn't bother asking any questions, just started throwing punches. After that, some guy wearing green came along and interrogated us for a bit.
I've got the confirmation I needed. This is the one who masterminded this whole plot. Jawani, Sachin's son. If you have any questions for him, now's your chance to ask them. When you're done, I'm arresting them all and taking them back to the academia for further interrogation.
So why did you hire people to kidnap Sachin?
What do you think? 20 years ago, he upped and left to go and live a carefree life, not giving a second thought for my welfare. As if that's not bad enough already, he went and put his entire fortune in the care of the academia, along with a contract saying that one day he'd pass it all on to a genius he admired. That's my inheritance, by rights. You expect me to sit back and watch it go to someone else? If he won't give me what's mine, I'll just have to take it from him. Of course! Didn't he say he would be here somewhere, watching the championship from the shadows? So, I figured I'd get some people to nab him. Then I make him change the contract. And if the Academia doesn't agree to hand over the goods, I make him publicly announce that I'm his chosen genius. No, the old fart knows how to stay hidden. I'll give him that. He's probably cooped up somewhere watching all this go on and laughing to himself. I already thought he'd gone mad 20 years ago. And who knows what a madman's truly capable of. Diadem of Knowledge? You mean that thing he donated to the Academia? Well, I can tell you that it's very expensive. He sold a lot of assets to purchase it back in the day. Weird things started happening after he brought it home, too. For example, sometimes we'd hear a high-pitched voice coming from the storage room. Also, before donating it to the Academia, he once shut himself in that same storeroom and researched it non-stop for days. Something was already seriously wrong with him by that point. Nothing he did shocked me.
What do you mean, something wrong with him?
I only have a vague memory of it, since I was very young at the time. But I have the impression that he went out into the desert for research and didn't return for many years. When he finally did return, he was a changed person. He would mumble incomprehensibly and write essays day and night. I asked if I could see what he'd written, but he chased me out of the room. Later, he went out somewhere and took his written essays with him. When he got back, he signed his contract with the Academia. Part of me wonders whether he'd already stopped being my father by that point. Perhaps the man we called Sachin was a demon from the desert who was wearing his skin.
Okay, you can stop now. You're creeping Paimon out.
You can believe me or not. Doesn't matter to me. I told you all I know. But if you do see Sachin, tell him this for me. Whatever it is that he's researching out there, he'll always be garbage in my eyes.
You finished? In that case, come with us. Well, we finally caught the guy behind all this. Thanks for providing us with the critical information. Do you still have any lingering concerns?
Yeah, Al-Haytham's notes do mention that item.
Scribe Al-Haytham looked into this matter. Understood. Well, if you believe there to be an issue with the diadem, I'd suggest contacting the organizers and getting them to pause the competitions while we investigate.
That makes sense. Okay then, let's get back to the venue. We need to tell Karina what's going on. Karina!
You're finally back. Where have you been? I looked everywhere for you. The third round's already started.
We were out capturing some bad guys who wanted to kidnap Sachin. But that's not important right now. We think there might be something wrong with the Diadem of Knowledge, and we'd like to investigate it.
The diadem? That seems unlikely. The Diadem of Knowledge has been used in every extravaganza over the last 2 decades, always without incident. Why has this come up now? This is pretty serious. Let me think. Okay, here's the situation. The diadem is currently in Mount Ima Forest. We moved it there before the third round began. In the third round, contestants have to go into Mount Ima Forest, find the diadem, bring it back, and place it on the stand. The first person to do this gets 4 points. Considering how close the scores are between our contestants, whoever wins this round is very likely to be the winner of the whole competition. As such, I suspect competition to be very fierce. You might not make it in time. I'll mark the diadem's location for you. Please head there immediately. Let's hope nothing happens.
All right, let's go. That's weird.
They put it in the mushroom area, huh?
Uh-oh. This place looks empty. Did someone already take it? Well, we might as well head back and see if anyone's turned it in.
Unsolicited, and all the more valuable for it.
You shouldn't.
Oh, looks like Layla has seized the diadem. But getting to the goal won't be easy.
That guy enters the fray. Horizon's device has gone haywire.
The competition is heating up. Oh. And here's Kaveh bringing up the rear.
It's Kaveh's toolbox! Throwing the diadem to its owner!
Yes, that's right. Put the diadem in place, and you shall gain all you desire.
Who are you? I need you to get out of my head!
I am confident that you will not disappoint me. What just happened to me?
Something's wrong.
Me like this.
At long last, someone to inherit my estate, and with it, my research. Come, Kaveh. Come to me, my child.
How do you know my name? Who are you?
I am Sachin. Well, to be precise, I am but a fragment of Sachin's mind. Fate is a curious thing. Seeing you reminds me of another I once met. But you are made of sterner stuff than he, more cognizant of the trials and tribulations of this world. It is you who are worthy to inherit all that I once owned. We meet for the first time, children. But what I mean to say now is of utmost importance. So please, pay attention and bear witness. You have all performed outstandingly in this Interdashant Championship. The Academia has many rare talents among its ranks, and you are the creme of the creme. But if I were to choose a successor, I would choose you, Kaveh. Not only because you were victorious, but also due to our similarities in character.
Me? Similar to you?
Why, yes. Both of us have the misfortune to be idealists. and that is the source of our misery. 28 years ago, I came to the desert and lived there for 8 full years. What do you think I saw there? Alas, endless strife and slaughter. Conflict over water sources. Robbing of merchant caravans. Exploitation of the people relentlessly, day after day. Beyond the wall of Samiel lay a completely different world from the one I knew. The things I witnessed there tormented me greatly. I wished desperately to find a way to save them.
So, did you find a way?
As a Vahumana scholar, I tried to use Vahumana knowledge to find the answer. I researched history and anthropology, performed countless experiments on human nature, and even sought out the scholars living deep in the desert who called themselves the Lost Darshan. But in the end, I found that the answer I sought simply did not exist. It was not possible to simply assign blame for these transgressions to any one party, for the sins are carved into humanity's very nature. Our nature begets conflict, and conflict begets destruction. This is the inexorable truth. The aim of my research was to draw lessons from history. But what I discovered was that history offers no such guidance. Things can only ever go from bad to worse. After this realization, I could no longer see the meaning in anything that I had ever learned. Consumed by an overwhelming sense of emptiness, I could no longer bear to face life. And so, I decided to bring my life to an end. But before I went through with it, a strange twist of fate led me to come into the possession of this diadem, which has the ability to preserve part of one's consciousness. Into it, I placed my experiences before requesting that the academia manage my estate.
As I thought, the contract you signed with the academia was in essence your will. But if you'd given up hope on this world, why did you feel the need to do this?
I mentioned that I had performed a great many experiments concerning human nature. You may regard this as the very last experiment of them all. The academia has no shortage of genius talents, nurturing the brightest minds of every generation. And so, with a handsome reward to draw out the worthiest of individuals, my hope was that one day, I would find one who could untangle the mystery of human nature once and for all, and help to move the world onto a better path.
I see. So you desired a successor who was not only a genius, but who also understood the suffering of ordinary people. Such a person would have a clearer understanding of humanity, society, and the world.
Huh?
But did you ever consider that wealth numbs the human heart to the pain in the world? Even an idealist may be incapable of following through on your wishes after inheriting your wealth.
You are highly intelligent, yet you are not the sort of person who would understand my line of thinking. To me, this is also part of the experiment, part of my investigation into human nature. Whether my successor suffers as a consequence of my research, or succumbs to an indulgence in pleasure-seeking, my research will have progressed. I grieve the fundamental sickness of the world. I regret the unbearable weight of its history, and I lament the research that I failed to complete. And this, Kaveh, my dear child, is why you will be of great utility to me.
You're absolutely certain that you want to give me everything you owned? For me to do with as I please?
I have faith in what I see in you. Now wear the diadem, Kaveh, and complete the journey that I could not. Will the verdict I reached cause you suffering? Or will this newfound wealth numb your heart? I look forward to your answer. All of my research materials are being stored at all.
I've heard enough! My life's enough of a mess already. The last thing I need is more suffering. Keep your Mora. I don't need it. Didn't you say that you saw a lot of people in pain? Well, if that's the case, then your wealth can go to them. I guess that'll be the end of that.
Kaveh.
Are you all right? Any physical discomfort?
I'm fine. Thanks, Tainari. Don't worry about me.
Don't push yourself too hard.
Kaveh.
Kaveh may have broken the diadem, but he successfully completed the task prior to that. According to the rules, this makes him the victor of round 3. Points-wise, this also makes him the winner of the Inter-Darshan Championship. As the champion and Sachin's personally designated successor, Kaveh has obtained the rights to inherit the entirety of his estate. For the avoidance of doubt, can you confirm that it is your intention to donate all of Sachin's wealth?
Like I said, he thought that the world is a bad place. Well then, let's use what he left behind to change it for the better. Rejecting the world will achieve nothing. He and I, we're not the same.
All right. As the scribe, I will make a record of this incident on file. The sages will contact you in person for details on how exactly Sachin's estate is to be used.
That sounds fine. I don't know if his research findings were right, nor would I know how to finish his research for him. But what I do know is that by ending this here, no contestants will have to suffer. We won't be the last. There will be more championships to come, and countless future scholars will follow in our footsteps. Sachin's words can only cause pain, but not anymore. No one else has to hear them now. We're all scholars here. I know full well that shutting down his views like this is autocratic and arrogant. Fine by me. I'll bear that responsibility. It's the least I can do. And, well, it's the only thing I can do.
Well said. What you've expressed is a sense of justice and idealism that many aspire to, but few dare follow through with. I say this despite the fact that, in my view, it's quite ridiculous. You have long been aware of what your flaws are, but your pride alone prevents you from admitting it. Nevertheless, your perspective is well suited to appearing in a victory speech. Contestant Kaveh, on behalf of the organizing committee, it is my honor to congratulate you on your victory.
What? Please. I don't need your insincere praise. Anyway, this isn't the time or place for debates. Keep your commentary focused on the competition, not my views.
Congratulations, Kaveh. Also, you'll need to prepare for the award ceremony.
Looks like the